Lyle Menendez adjusted his tennis visor, beads of sweat dotting his brow. He glanced at his brother Erik, acknowledging the silent bond forged over years of shared secrets. The sun was setting behind Beverly Hills, casting long shadows over the pristine court where they played. Yet, inside the Menendez mansion, a night of horrors was about to unravel. The Menendez brothers, known for their charisma and affluence, were staples in the Los Angeles elite circle. Lyle, the older brother at 21, was studying business at Princeton, poised for success. Erik, at 18, was a promising tennis player, his agility on the court mirroring his ease in social settings. Their laughter filled the halls of their mansion, a testament to the camaraderie and shared dreams of their youth. But on August 20th, 1989, that laughter would echo into a silence that would forever haunt them. Inside their home, parents Jose and Kitty Menendez relaxed in the family room. Jose, a self-made entertainment executive, had built an empire from the ground up. Kitty, once an elementary school teacher, now managed her social calendar with precision. To outsiders, the Menendez family seemed perfect, a picture of success and privilege. But underneath the polished exterior lay a tumultuous relationship, fraught with tension and unspoken grievances. That Sunday evening, the peace of the Menendez residence shattered. The brothers entered the room armed with shotguns. What transpired next was so brutal, so incomprehensible, that even seasoned detectives were left stunned. As the echoes of gunfire subsided, the brothers fled the scene, leaving behind a tableau of devastation. Why would two seemingly privileged young men commit such an unspeakable act? What could drive Lyle and Erik to turn against their own flesh and blood? Motive remained elusive, entangled in a complex web of family dynamics. In the days following the murders, Lyle and Erik displayed a peculiar nonchalance, epitomized by extravagant spending sprees and lavish purchases. Their behavior raised eyebrows, but the true depth of their motivations would only come to light later. It was Erik who first cracked under the pressure. In a session with his psychologist, Dr. Jerome Oziel, Erik broke down, confessing the murders. Dr. Oziel, grappling with the ethics of client confidentiality, recorded sessions with the brothers, capturing their darkest secrets and admissions. These tapes would become the centerpiece of the prosecution's case, unraveling the brothers' web of deceit. The defense, however, painted a different picture. Lyle and Erik's lawyers argued that years of physical and emotional abuse at the hands of their father had driven them to a breaking point. They claimed the murders were an act of self-preservation, a desperate attempt to escape a life of torment orchestrated by Jose Menendez. Kitty, they alleged, turned a blind eye to her son's suffering, trapped in her own struggles with depression and substance abuse. As the trial unfolded, the world watched, riveted by the unfolding drama. The Menendez brothers' case captivated public attention, not only because of the horrific nature of the crime, but also for the glimpse it offered into the gilded cage of wealth and power. Yet, despite the defense's claims, many questioned whether abuse could truly justify such brutality. What investigators found at the crime scene that night would change everything. We will get to that. But first, the trial's proceedings revealed a deeply unsettling family portrait. Witnesses testified about the controlling nature of Jose, his relentless drive for perfection, and the pressure he placed on his sons. Kitty's friends described her as a loving, if troubled mother whose world revolved around her boys. Despite the emotional testimonies, the prosecution remained steadfast. They contended that the motive was greed, plain and simple. The brothers stood to inherit millions, a financial windfall that could free them from their father's allegedly oppressive grip. The defense countered with the argument that the brothers felt trapped and the murders were their only escape. As the legal team sparred in court, the jury faced a monumental task: to decipher the truth from a narrative clouded by emotion and speculation. The Menendez brothers' fate hung in the balance, their future uncertain. What led two young men to such a drastic act of violence? Was it desperation or cold-blooded calculation? In the midst of the trial, a turn of events threatened to upend everything. The tapes recorded by Dr. Oziel became a legal battleground. Their admissibility teetered on the edge of privacy laws and attorney-client privilege. If allowed, they could seal the brothers' fate. If not, they might walk free. As the world held its breath, the trial's outcome became anyone's guess. The Menendez brothers' case remains one of the most perplexing in criminal history. Was it a tragic product of familial abuse, or a calculated plot born from avarice? The truth, shrouded in the opulent halls of a Beverly Hills mansion, seemed to evoke more questions than answers. As the trial progressed, the looming question of justice remained. Could it truly be served in a case so deeply layered with complexity? The investigation into the Menendez murders began with a chilling tableau. Jose and Kitty Menendez, shot multiple times, lay lifeless in their family room. Detectives combed through the opulent mansion, searching for clues amid the chaos. The brutality suggested a personal vendetta, yet initial reports baffled investigators. Who could harbor such hatred against a seemingly perfect family? Despite their calm demeanor, Lyle and Erik were on the detectives' radar from the start. Their alibis felt rehearsed, mechanical. The brothers claimed to have returned home late, finding their parents already dead. Yet, their erratic behavior post-murder, excessive shopping sprees, luxury purchases, raised suspicion. Investigators wondered, were they grieving sons or calculating killers? Forensic evidence soon added to the intrigue. Blood spatter analysis indicated the assailants were in close proximity to their victims, supporting the theory of an intimate crime. The lack of forced entry suggested the perpetrators were known to Jose and Kitty. Meanwhile, shell casings found at the scene matched shotguns purchased by the brothers weeks earlier. This discovery tightened the noose around their necks. But could it be enough to secure a conviction? As the investigation dug deeper, the narrative became murky. Friends and acquaintances offered conflicting testimonies about the family's dynamics. Some painted Jose as a tyrant, obsessed with control and discipline. Others described Kitty as volatile, battling inner demons. Yet none could decisively substantiate the brothers' claims of abuse. This contradiction left investigators questioning the veracity of the defense's strategy. Striking details emerged during witness interviews. A family friend recalled seeing Lyle and Erik tearfully discuss their father's oppressive nature. Another mentioned cryptic remarks about their future being uncertain without their parents. These moments, though brief, suggested a deeper malaise within the Menendez household. Investigators and the public alike fixated on these revelations, replaying them in search of hidden meanings. 2 months into the investigation, a rewatch-worthy detail surfaced. A witness remembered seeing Erik at a shooting range weeks before the murders, practicing intensely. The significance of this memory was undeniable, casting a dark shadow over the brothers' claims of spontaneity. Why would Erik hone his skills if not to prepare for something sinister? The trial's evidence phase exposed a damning contradiction. Lyle and Erik's defense claimed the murders were a desperate escape from abuse, yet their financial records told another story. Bank statements showed substantial debts, conflicting with their lavish lifestyle. Prosecutors argued this financial strain was motive enough for murder, further clouding the narrative of abuse versus greed. The biggest reveal of the trial came unexpectedly. The tapes recorded by Dr. Oziel after much legal wrangling were admitted as evidence. The courtroom fell silent as Erik's voice crackled over the speakers, confessing to the killings in harrowing detail. He described the fear, the anguish, and ultimately, the decision to end their parents' lives. This revelation was a bombshell, leaving little doubt about the brothers' involvement. Yet, the tapes also unveiled startling insights into the Menendez psyche. Erik spoke of a household ruled by terror, alleging not just physical abuse, but psychological torment. This testimony reignited debates about the legitimacy of the brothers' defense. Could years of alleged abuse justify such an extreme act of violence, or was it a manipulative ploy to garner sympathy? With the tapes playing a pivotal role, the jury faced an arduous task. Weighing the evidence, they had to determine whether the Menendez brothers were victims or villains. The tapes crystallized the complexity of the case, yet the path to a verdict remained fraught with ambiguity. The haunting question loomed: were they driven by survival instincts or calculated greed? Today, the Menendez case still captivates and confounds those who revisit it. In the decades since their conviction, Lyle and Erik have remained incarcerated, their appeals largely unsuccessful. They have become infamous, symbols of both the fragility and fallibility of the American justice system. their story continues to spark debate over the intersections of wealth, abuse, and justice. One unresolved question persists. If the abuse allegations hold truth, why did no one speak up sooner? This chilling query lingers, fueling speculation and discussion. It suggests a silent complicity, a societal blindness to the suffering that may have been hidden behind closed doors. The Menendez brothers saga remains etched in the annals of criminal history, a stark reminder of the complexities lurking beneath a veneer of privilege. Despite the convictions, the haunting specter of what truly transpired in the Menendez mansion continues to stir the public imagination. In the end, one truth resonates. The line between victim and villain is often blurred and sometimes irretrievably lost.